Hi guys, it's Diamond. Welcome back to my channel where I love to talk about all things media that I consume, whether that's book, TV shows, or movies. And in today's video, we are talking about The Endgame by Rae Lyse, which is the second book to the Sun series that I was highly recommended to read by my lovely wax lady. Now, ever since that day, I actually can't wait to go to my next appointment so I could be like, girl, you suggested that I read the Sun series, and guess what? I'm working my way through all the books, okay? Let's get into it. You already know, let me pull up the book details so we can talk about it. And I would say I've never read a book that left me frustrated by two characters. You know, sometimes when you're reading like a slow burn romance novel and there might be a little miscommunication of whether the couple like actually like each other, and you know that they're going to be together at the end. I think the greatest plot twist a writer could do is if, like, say you are assuming that the couple's going to be together and then they end up not being together. I don't know. I feel like that would kind of be an epic, like, plot twist moment. Like, I mean, these characters in this book really frustrated me because it was like oh, let's just read the book details. I'm sorry. I'm getting carried away. I'm getting carried away. Okay. Second book to the Sun series. I already said that. Josiah Joseph is trouble. At least that's what everyone says about him. Jade Taylor can't help but to agree with their sentiments. He's a hot-headed football player and one of her most lackluster students. She's a young mother and a laser-focused teacher's assistant, counting the days until graduation. After the two cross paths at a wild party, Jade makes a discovery about the volatile quarterback that sends her on a quest to understand who Josiah Joseph is and why he suddenly become enamored with her. Content note: this is a new adult contemporary romance that contains mature themes and subjects that may be disturbing to some readers. Okay, let's get into it. And let's talk about why these two characters frustrated the hell out of me. Okay. I would say overall, I enjoyed the story. I think this being the second book that I read by Rae Lyse so far, I think that she does a really good job at making it feel like I'm reading something that could actually happen in real life. I feel like the themes in this book, with the way we talked about Josiah's background, his story, coming from the neighborhood that he lived in and grew up in, and how, you know, sports become a very big part of a lot of young black boys' dream because they think, oh, that's how I'm going to make it out. I'm going to make it out by being an excellent football player or an excellent basketball player, and I'm going to take care of my family, my friends, and everybody that held me up, right? And I feel like reading the book, I was like, yep, nope, I feel like this is like how I said in Saving Sunflower. I said, I feel like this is literally somebody's life. The fact that he had found peace in football, and then it was like, oh yeah, you're going to make it to the NFL and you're going to get us out the hood, basically. I would say his story, Josiah's story, was literally like my heart. My heart goes out to him, goes out to just the storyline of everything. Like, I really felt like I felt the things that he was going through. Josiah, Jade, and Journey. That's so cute. But obviously you have, I almost call her Journey. That's her baby name. You have Jade. She's this young mother who got pregnant by a guy that she thought she liked. He ended up being an ancient ass man, and he was not there for her, and he was cheating on her. He was not wanting to participate with her being pregnant. He damn near was like pregnant. But she thought, keep the baby, keep him around. He's going to do right by me. Brandon, ancient ass man, right? Now, the way that it was like a hot, fast connection. Josiah seen Jade, thought, that's a pretty girl. I like that. I like what she got going on. But Jade is a bit older than Josiah. So she's just like, this little young thing. He don't want. I feel like she was self-aware because of her mom, and her mom constantly reminded her like of the quote unquote mistakes that she made by being such a young college girl and then getting pregnant. And now it's like you don't have just one person to focus on, which is just yourself. You have another human that depends on you, that looks at you, and you have to focus on that, which I think is very valid. Terry had her points, but Terry was also pissing me off. Okay, I feel like just how I felt in Saving Sunflower when everybody was telling Claudette, do not be with Dominique. You do not want that man. Even his own auntie was like, baby, don't. But it's like also you're reading their relationship and the things that they talk about and the love that they're having for each other. So it's like from the outside looking in, yes, Josiah is this hothead. Yes, he is like he's a really good football player, so he has his career. He has women being thrown at him, women on his shoulder, whatever. He's a nice looking dude. But then when you know his background and where he comes from and the fact that he has lost friends either to the system or to death, it's like, oh, baby, give me a hug. Give me a hug. And this book did make me tear up. Mind you, I'm at my job sitting and reading, and I'm like, because the whole time of them pretending like, oh, we're done, like I'm just your little sister, your little semester fling, and yada yada yada, knowing they were in love with each other. If you wanted this girl to be your just little semester fling and just show her a good time, you would have not brought her to Atlanta to be around your family. You would have not felt like you needed to emotionally depend on her, and you would have not done all those things with her daughter. You know, like that's what it was like, y'all. There's no way there's no way both of y'all are still on this. Oh, we're just gonna do this until the semester is over and you graduate. Knowing how you feel about her, knowing how she feel about you, like that is what was frustrating me. I would say, y'all know I've been on like Jocko J for a while, and I have not really picked it back up in a second because I've been so focused on reading so many other different books, and I feel like I gave it like such a hard like focus that I kind of take a little break from them. Still love them, still love the Delgado's family, still love Meerkat and Capri and all of them. But I would say going from, writers have all different type of styles, and when I was reading the book and I was reading that Claudette, my babies, Claudette and Dominique were having trouble, I was like, boy, I don't want to say if this was Jocko J, because you can never like compare authors, but it's just like different writing styles. Because in Jocko J books, she's going to give you everybody's point of view. You're getting like 5 different storylines in one book, and it's going to then help move it along for when you read the other books in the series, right? In this book, obviously we knew that Claudette and Dominique were having problems, especially when there was that incident where Claudette, Dominique, and Dominique's best friend Mo were in the car and the car got shot up. Okay, cool. Then we seen like, oh, they've been having problems, they've been arguing, and it's like, I would have loved to have gone just a little bit in depth to see what was going on in their land, because we're just coming off, if you're reading them in order, I mean, technically they're all standalone, so you don't have to read them in order. It just feels right. That's how I feel about Kitty and Ryan, the Skyland series. Technically there's no real order to it, but they're all standalones. I just wish we could have got a little glimpse of, because even towards the end, it seems like, even though we kind of got a little glimpse of when like Claudette was like, I love him. Like, I love him so much that I can't leave him. But they have relationship problems. And now a real life situation happened to where, Dominique is like, I need to keep my family safe. I need to make sure everybody's cool. And then Claudette, like, she experienced something that she's never experienced before. And she also is just like, you can't be trapped in this mindset of, I'm going to, like, not trapped in this mindset, but more so like feeling like you need to stay in the house and not go nowhere because you're just scared that anything can happen. And you don't know until that thing happens. So it's like you can see the little dynamic in their relationship a little bit in the story, but I would have loved just to be like, are they okay? Are they cool? Are they good? I would say, like, going back to Josiah and his lack of education, and it's like, I feel like time and time again, like I said, this book gives such a realistic view on what I think actually happens in the real world, is that these sports programs, I even seen it like growing up in high school, oh, you need a qualifying grade to play in Friday's game. So let's just finesse the system. We don't care that you can't read, can't write, can't form sentences, none of that. Because there's no way Josiah was all the way in college and he was reading on a 5th grade level. They were just passing him along and doing whatever needs to be done, but he couldn't even form he couldn't even write a fucking essay, you know? And oh, what a proud moment when he was able to write his end of the midterm semester essay, you know, by himself in that time, even though both him and Jade was struggling. And even when baby Journey was like calling him daddy and stuff, I was like, oh. But Terry, I understand mama. Like she was coming from like such a good place. I know, like you didn't want your daughter, you know, your daughter is now like a single mama, you know, but it's like for her, I wish in the scene, there was a scene, right? There was a scene where Terry, Josiah, baby Journey, and Jade, you know, they're trying to like make amends or whatever. And it was just like, I understand where Terry was coming from of like, you need to focus on your daughter. You need to do what's right for your daughter, not bringing her around, you know, men that can come and go. You don't want to confuse your baby, yada, yada, yada. I mean, she had really good points, okay? But I wish that Josiah, just for the sake of knowing like the fears that her mother had, to kind of be like, mama, like, I love you. I love your daughter. I love your granddaughter. I'm going to take care of them. But he did kind of check her a little bit when Journey called Josiah daddy again. And then Terry was like, did you teach my grandbaby to call you daddy? And it's like, no. Maybe she felt like that is her dad because of the fact that her real dad ain't shit and don't actually want to be a part of his daughter's life for real. It was only on her mama line because if any guy show her interest, then he on some BS talked about, oh, don't have my daughter. Now it's your daughter. Don't have my daughter around no dudes. Da, da, da. Like, and it's just like, and I love the fact that even through it all, Josiah even was like, I respect Journey to understand that when she gets older, that she's going to know that I'm always going to be in her corner, whether I'm actually her biological father or not. And also, I show her who her daddy is. And if she decides that's what she want to do, then that's what she wants to do. But she knows that I'm always going to be here for her. Like, I can't replace actually being her father, but I could be the man that's going to be there for her as she grows older, and with Journey as well. Because even, I mean, not Journey, Jade. Even with Jade having to navigate being a single mom and not having a partner to lean on, but she started to experience those things. And I feel like also that's why Jade kind of was like getting feelings, because for a long time it was just you and your daughter, but then here comes this man who doesn't care that you have a baby, actually like entertain, talk to your baby, want to take care of your baby, want to take care of you. And when you're having these moments with your child Journey, it's like you also have another voice there to help you in those situations, you know? So I feel like that's why she was battling herself, and she beat herself up so bad. And I know she felt it. Okay. So like I said, like I really did enjoy this book and the different themes that were going on. And I just felt like I feel like at some point it was feeling drawn out, because they were just going back and forth so much, and there were so many other different events. But I also feel like we got a greater story behind Josiah. I really feel like this was a Josiah focused story because of the fact that, yeah, we had Journey, and she talked about like, not Journey, we had Jade, and she was talking about like her past and things that she went through relationship wise, and like even when they had their little arguments, and Josiah was just like, listen, I know what you used to, but I'm not about to do all that. Like, I know what you and Brandon used to do. I know what you probably seen your parents do, but I'm not about all that arguing, going back and forth and just feeding into it and all that stuff. Like, I would say that Dominique did such a great job raising Josiah. Dominique and Mo, like him having older people in his life to really show him the way. Even he didn't have a father and he had a messed relationship, but he didn't know his dad. He looked at Dominique more as a father figure than anything. But it's like, how could you not? When you're struggling and you see your cousin making moves and doing what you got to do, you're going to follow his lead. Now, was it the right lead? No. And it was just so sad, you know, as we're getting to the end of the book, how Josiah's story of, yeah, me and my homeboy, who was my like close friend, he moved a couple streets over, and then we started beefing to the point where he came to a house party. shot it up, and my girlfriend, mind you, they're babies. My girlfriend gets hit by a bullet and dies. And because I'm so fueled with so much rage, and even when like you're reading the flashbacks, Mom, I feel like I could literally picture it. Like I feel like I could literally see Josiah in the moments of where he could hear Dominique in his head being like, if you're gonna be a man about it, be a fucking man about it. If you're gonna do it, do that shit with your full chest. And I was like, boy, like, oh my gosh. I felt like once I was immersed. And I was like, wow. And their relationship shit was annoying me, but overall the storyline of reading about Josiah and the shows he went through in the system and how he had a teacher who said he was never going to be good for nothing but playing football, X, Y, and Z, like, she did a really good job at writing that. She really did. And, you know, at the end when Josiah just felt like, how can I be happy when I feel like I have all these people on my back? I have the friends, everybody, the situation. My best friend went down for something that I did. And he told me, go live that shit. Like, go off and do what you said you was going to do, which was making it out. So now he's taking care of all these people around him because that's what he feels like he's indebted to. Like, his family, you know? And when he went to the cemetery and he paid his love to his ex, I think it was Kamaya? Don't quote me. With the girlfriend that he had lost at such a young age. And then he went over to his homeboy and was like, man, that shit was so petty and stupid. That shit was so petty and stupid. And I wish it didn't have to go down like that, you know? Because taking a life is something that you can't come from. And yes, he was fueled out of rage, but it's just like, once you pull that trigger, it's over, it's wraps. Now, at the end, when the little boy called and was like, hey, I know that man who shot up Claudette and Doe's car. Let me get him. He up in the streets talking all this yip, yap, yip, yap, yap. And the last thing was, Josiah telling him, hey man, don't do that. As somebody who pulled the trigger before, I'm telling you right now, it ain't even worth it now. If Mo want to take up and do what he want to do, that's cool. He cool. But you, my guy, my young nigga, you, my guy, my youngin', don't do that. He's like, what you mean don't do that? And I was just like, ugh. So I'm so interested to see what the third book has to offer. Overall, I gave it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I've really, really been enjoying the series so far. I've been knocking books out left and right. Like when we do the end of the month, August reading wrap up, there's going to be so many books. I feel like I've just been knocking them out left and right. And I've read so many good reads for this month of August. But that was The Endgame by Rae Lyse. And I really enjoyed it. So if you did read the book, please let me know in the comments down below how you felt about it. And if y'all kind of like the style of which I recap books that I read, I feel like I'm getting better at talking about them the more I do these videos. But I just really enjoy being able to talk out my thoughts and how I felt while I was reading the book, you know? And yeah, I will see y'all in my next video. All my links are always down in the description box down below. If you love to watch lifestyle vlogs, entrepreneur diaries, and such things like that. I do have another channel, link down below. Social media links down below. Everything has to do with me down below. And I will see y'all in my next video. I appreciate you so much for watching this one.